get settled, just as opening statement.
First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I know there was a big game up in Providence today, so really, really nice to see everybody here today and supporting us. Really happy with the way we played in the second half, especially the third quarter. I thought our halftime adjustments and what we needed to do to impose the physicality and battle back a little bit, we did in the third and fourth quarter. So really proud of the team. UMass is rebuilding. Mike's going to do a great job there, but they play hard and they're very physical. And so I think that was, a really good game for us coming off a LaSalle game where they're not so physical. We needed that before we go on the road to G-Dub to really test us because George Washington's athletic and physical, a little bit of the same. So really happy with our second half performance. The only thing that we really need to clean up is taking care of the ball. Not so happy with the way we threw the ball around the gym today repeatedly. And so we've got to be smart. We've got to be able to execute. You will not beat teams turning the ball over 18 times. Good teams, you won't. So it's something the next 2 days in practice, we're really gonna try to clean up and work on.
Coach, talk about Anel's impact last 2 games coming back after all that stuff that happened. She's been making huge impacts, just like both ends of the ball. Very strong rebound. Just talk about her game.
I can't put a premium on what she does. We run a lot of things through our 4, and her versatility, her ability to defend and rebound, defend multiple positions. She's one of the only post players we can switch with. We run everything through. She can reverse the ball. She can hit that 15, 17-foot jumper now. So it's a threat where some of our other 4s, they pack the paint and they double 10 in MIA. So you don't see this as a coach. I see we have no spacing when AD doesn't play. We have none because we're playing 4 against 5 offensively. So she's just our glue. Not is she just a great rebounder and defender. She spreads the floor for us at that position that we need so they can't double our post. And we have some floor spacing. So having her back was a huge boost, a huge shot in the arm. And it was tough going 4 games without AD and 2 of them without Tennant, really. So it's nice to have a post rotation where you can do some things schematically, offensively and defensively, but I can't put a premium on what AD does for him. It's all the little things. It's what Rodman did for the Bulls. It's that glue player that you can't win without. You can't. And she's invaluable to us. She really is.
Coach, I know you said this, but you really are someone that hates losing at home. And after that tough one for St. Joe's, how important is it not to only string together 2, but to get a win like this, to come back home and just get out back to winning ways?
Obviously we always want to win at home. That we don't even discuss. That's a given. But it was really how we played. We have to start. We're getting to the second half of the season, and we got some really tough teams we have to play. So you have to start knowing, what do we hang our hat on? Are we going to show up every day and battle? Toughness, win the boards, be able to defend. Second straight game, we held the opponent under 50. You have to hang your hat on something going in the second part of the season. And do you have momentum? Are you playing better than you were 2, 3, 4 weeks ago? We are. We have some people stepping up now in roles where in the non-conference we did not have this chemistry. We just didn't. We didn't click. We're starting to read each other better. So that's the goal going into the second half of the season. Yes, we want to win at home, but how did we play? Are we doing us, and are we doing at a higher level than we did 4 weeks ago? If you're on the downslope and you're not right now, you need to be concerned as a coach. You really do, because there's not much time to turn it around. It can't be done in like 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. You got to start. It should have started 2, 3 weeks ago when you first enter the season. So I am happy where we are at right now. And to win at home is always good. Now, a good team, you got to go steal 2 on the road. You got to get these 2 on the road. So that's our focus, is play better, play tough on the road, and 1 game at a time from this point out. 1 game at a time.
I know you said it's a completely different season now, but did it mean anything going in, the gravity of this game last year and the fact that you were both co-champions, them coming back here the first time? Was that something you considered at all, or was it sort of just a new season?
No. I did tell the team the last time we played UMass here, they absolutely diced us. They destroyed us. It was embarrassing at home. And I did mention that, where we must play harder than them today. It just is not questioned. non-negotiable. But these are two very different teams. Again, I answered this question, I think, maybe last week, where I don't compare this team to last year. It is a very different team, and they're trying to do something in their own identity this year. And UMass is the same thing. My God, they have all new players. They got a lot of new staff, and they got a new head coach. So we're very different. Obviously we respect our past, but these are two very different teams, and we are where we are right now with this crew. And so I don't really compare, and I try not to bring up last year's team a lot, other than they're intangibles and why we won. And those, we have to keep our culture and keep our tradition alive. That's what makes it a successful program and the championship culture.
Coach, it's been close on the road for a couple of games. It seems like you guys have been hanging around the entire game, just can't seem to pull out that last little piece of the puzzle. Tonight kind of went back and forth for a while, but your defense in the second half, especially with that full court pressure, seemed to separate you guys and get you guys over that hump. Is that something that you'll bring out on the road as well, to try and get you guys, right out of the gate, put some full court pressure on you if you guys can get out early?
Yes, we will. To answer your question bluntly, we will. We'll mix it up a lot. Even though if we didn't turn them over, if you notice, they were operating their half-court offense with like 18 seconds to go. They were all discombobulated. You have no rhythm. He's a huge set guy. They have like 35 sets. So he's a half-court execution coach. And so if you let them get a rhythm and just come down and pick you apart, he will put people in a position where he'll go out after your weakest link and get a shot. And Mike's very good at that. Tori was very good at that. So our goal today was really disrupt them, let our pressure. It may not affect them in the first half as much, but then we changed our pressure. We started reading a little bit, trapping, denying, and really just got them out of sorts so they couldn't pick us apart in the second half. So same thing on the road. We'll press, we'll do a little zone, we'll do a little man. Really try to make the point guards execute and try to see what we're in. It's very difficult. Loyola Chicago did it to us on the road. They mixed it up. They pressure, zone, man. You didn't know what they were in. And it affected our point guards a little bit. So, after that game, I really thought we've got to disrupt some of these teams that can really pick you apart in half court. And that's why we've gone to our pressure a little bit more, disrupting two different types of presses, and then even a little bit of zone here and there we'll sprinkle in to really throw them off beat and see if we can't confuse them and be able to get stops and run.
Tammi, Jake Russo from the Providence Journal. I just started. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alluding to that pressure and that energy, I feel like it starts with Dee Dee. Would you agree? And I know she had some turnovers today herself, but she lost defense.
Yeah, Dee Dee, it's one of the reasons we brought her here. She's a spark plug. She's got energy. She likes to press. She likes to get into people. And so when she's feeling it, she's really good. Offensively today, she struggled a little bit with reads. She again, I think she had 5 turnovers, and most of them were they weren't even really forced. She just threw the ball all over the gym. But it does start with our point guards. And if you're going to press, they have to be committed to it. Your guards have to be the ones. If you'll see, our point guards are the ones that have to turn kids. They got to get on the hip, and they got to make something happen. So we ask a lot of them. And that's why we've increased our rotation as we're pressing more. You see more bodies playing now. You see Eva, you see Sophie V, you see Inez, especially at the guard position, giving us some minutes where we don't wear and tear Tisha and Sophie P and Dee Dee out to no end, because you can't press when you're tired and you can't execute when you're tired. So it's a key. All our guards, especially our point guards, they got to have that energy, and they got to want to press up and get into people.
Coach, you guys jumped out to an 8-0 lead right away to start this one, and you never squandered the lead after that. It got close at a couple points there, but how important is it to you guys to really jump out to those early leads and put the pressure on the other side right away?
It's imperative. When especially on the road, when we've gone down quickly, it's been a struggle to battle back. Loyola, Richmond, you're down 10, 11 points, 12 points at times. On the road, that's a lot. And to try to battle back from that, it takes so much energy out of you. And so we focused on punching the first 4 minutes. How you start the game is imperative. And you'll see me pull kids in the first minute. If they don't have juice and they don't have energy and they're not bringing what we ask, they will come out, sit until they're ready to give what is needed. Now, they know this now. There's no reason. I don't understand this. I've never understood this as a player. You don't show up ready to play. And that means giving 110%. I don't understand it. That means getting in a stance, communicating, energy. You control that. No one, you can't control if your shots go in. A lot of times you can't control those things. It takes no skill to talk, to play hard, to get in a stance, to give, be an energy giver. And I do not allow vampires here. An energy vampire where you just suck your teammates dry and your coaches dry. I don't. And that's not how you play the game. So not here anyway, and not for me, not for our staff. So if they're not ready to play from jump, that first minute, and I can tell, if they ain't in a stance and they're not ready and they're not sprinting their lanes and they'll come out, they'll sit for a minute, we'll get them mentally right and we'll put them back in. But that's the expectation. It's the worst to not get complimented on how hard your team plays. It's the one thing I ask. After LaSalle, I'll tell you the story. I'm getting ready to watch LSU in South Carolina, and all of a sudden Mountain calls from LaSalle. He's the head coach. And he says to me, Tammy, listen, don't be offended by this question, but just answer it truthfully. Do you just recruit kids that just want to rebound and are tough and want to hit first and because we had 25 O boards. And I laughed and I said, hey, Mountain, I got one kid that it's internally built in, and that's AD. That's too Todd. Everyone else, we drill it every day. And if they don't do it, we run. And if they don't do it, they stay in the defensive possession till they get a stop. And they must hit, and it's taken us the whole season to even get them to hit and fight a little bit. It can be taught, but if you're not internally tough and love to hit, you won't play football for damn sure, and you won't rebound and you won't box out. And so, Mountain's like, well, we're going to start drilling because if you say it can be taught, we're going to start doing that because what you did to us, I clipped 33 clips of you just manhandling us. Well, even the ball's going through the net and you still have people crashing and throwing us to the side. And that was one of our best games that we just kept coming and we kept coming. And so if I could bottle that, I'd be a millionaire. We didn't have it the first half today. We had it the second half a little bit. We went harder, but that's the best compliment I can get because toughness and working and hard work, that's intangibles. And as a coach, that's the price of admission. And if your team doesn't play hard for you, that's a concern, and that bothers me. And so it's the one thing I ask our kids. Give it all you got. I can live with wins and losses, but not when we don't play hard and we don't play tough. So, yes, that's imperative to me. It's the price of admission here.
Coach, when you play consecutive road games this year, you're 1-6. Does that become a factor when you're preparing for next week at all?
And we're taking it one game at a time now. I think we're in a different headspace right now. The last thing I want to tell my team is, hey, we're not a good road team, and when we play back-to-back, it's more of we really got to focus on us and how we play at home and on the road. And that's defense, rebounding, taking care of the ball so we can run, and execution. So, again, you need a little bit more juice on the road. You got to be ready to play on the road. You just have to. And you got to be a little bit sharper. You just do. We had a great crowd today. We had 1,600 people. The support is crazy here. Sometimes that wins you games. Sometimes it helps our kids. On the road, you don't have anybody but the people sitting on the bench with you, and so you really have to be mentally and physically tough, and that's what we focused on. We've been close on the road. We're not losing by 35. We ain't getting blown out. 25. Richmond, it was number 1 in the league, 5. Other teams we're right there on the road. We just, again, you take care of what we take care of, you're fine on the road. And that's our focus. One game at a time, whatever it takes to win.
Any final questions? All right, we'll see you in about a week.
Hey,
Thanks,
did any of you know any of the songs that were played today on 80s Night? Or were you not born yet?
I knew it. I wasn't born, but.
All right. As long as you can appreciate the greatest era in music, I'm okay. Thank you, everybody.